Hello and welcome. You're watching Wion. World is One. I'm Bervi Singh. A big story coming from New Delhi today. The BJP government has revoked the special status for Jammu and Kashmir. What does that mean? What are the ramifications? What are the reactions? We'll be getting you all the latest. First, the headlines.
और मैं दृढ़ मान्यता के साथ आया हूं कि धारा 370 हटाने में एक सेकंड भी देरी नहीं करनी चाहिए।
In a big announcement, the Government of India scraps Article 370 granting special status to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir is now at par with all other Indian states. The order comes into effect immediately. The Government of India also abolishes Article 35A. The article empowered the state's legislature to define permanent residence of the state and provide special rights and privileges to permanent residents. The government to bifurcate the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir to be one union territory with a legislature, and Ladakh will be a separate union territory, and that will be directly administered by New Delhi. And security strengthened further in the state after the crucial government announcements. 8,000 additional paramilitary troops airlifted to the state from across the country. The CRPF DG on his way to Kashmir to review the law and order situation. Well, in the biggest decision on Jammu and Kashmir in independent India, the Home Minister Amit Shah made his much anticipated announcement in Parliament today. Through the notification issued by the President of India, Article 370, which provides special status to the state of Jammu and Kashmir, and Article 35A, which empowers the legislature of Jammu and Kashmir to define its permanent residence, has been revoked. The presidential order issued through the notification is called the Constitutional Application to Jammu and Kashmir Order 2019 and will come into force with immediate effect. With this, all provisions of the Indian Constitution as amended from time to time will apply on Jammu and Kashmir.
संविधान के अनुच्छेद 373 के अंतर्गत भारत के संविधान के अनुच्छेद 370 के खंड 1 के साथ पठित अनुच्छेद 370 के खंड 3 द्वारा प्रदत्त शक्तियों का प्रयोग करते हुए राष्ट्रपति संसद की सिफारिश पर यह घोषणा करते हैं कि यह दिनांक जिस दिन भारत के राष्ट्रपति द्वारा इस घोषणा पर हस्ताक्षर किए जाएंगे और इसे सरकारी गैजेट में प्रकाशित किया जाएगा, उस दिन से अनुच्छेद 370 के सभी खंड लागू नहीं होंगे, सिवाय खंड 1 के नामक तदनुसार पढ़ा जाएगा.
And besides this, Amit Shah has also mooted to bifurcate the state of Jammu and Kashmir into the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and the Union Territory of Ladakh. As per the notification, the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir will have a legislature, while the Union Territory of Ladakh will be centrally administered by New Delhi. Now, stating that Article 370 had been a hindrance in the integration of the people of Jammu and Kashmir to India, Home Minister Amit Shah stated that under the Prime Ministership of Narendra Modi, the government had taken this bold step for better administration of the state.
सबसे ज्यादा पैसा कश्मीर के अंदर गया, फिर भी कश्मीर का लोग आज गरीब क्यों है, वो देश जानना चाहता है. मैं आपके माध्यम से अपील करता हूं विपक्ष के सभी सभासदों को, कृपया चर्चा करिए. आप आपके तर्क बेखौफ रख सकते हैं, शौक से रख सकते हैं. मैं हर एक तर्क का जवाब दूंगा और मैं दृढ़ मान्यता के साथ आया हूं कि धारा 370 हटाने में एक सेकंड भी देरी नहीं करनी चाहिए।
Well, the Rajya Sabha immediately erupted in protest. Two PDP legislators who tore up the Indian Constitution on the floor of the House were immediately removed. The notification will now be discussed on the floor of both the Houses of Parliament and needs to be ratified by both. So complete ruckus there in Parliament after that statement by the Home Minister. Well, after the historic decision by the Indian government to abrogate Articles 370 and 35A, now there are reports coming in of a massive deployment of troops in Kashmir. Close to 8,000 paramilitary troops have been airlifted from Uttar Pradesh, Orissa, Assam and other parts of the country into the valley. Reports indicate that the troop induction is still underway, which means that more troops will be deployed very soon. This is, of course, in addition to the 35,000 paramilitary forces already stationed in the valley since last month. The Indian Army and the Air Force has also been put on high alert by the Government of India. The move comes after the central government's decision to abrogate Articles 370 and 35A and to bifurcate the erstwhile state. This has, of course, triggered vehement opposition from leaders across Jammu and Kashmir. The government also seems to be expecting a lot of backlash from the residents of Jammu and Kashmir, and this latest troop movement is reportedly aimed at maintaining stability and peace in the valley. Well, the events of today are part of a series of events which have been unfolding over the last few days in Kashmir. Now, we're going to take you through some of the most important ones here on Wion as part of our comprehensive coverage into what has happened today. Now, on August 2nd, the Indian Army finds a huge cache of arms, including a Pakistani mine and an American sniper rifle, and that too en route the Amarnath Yatra. Within a few hours of this, the Amarnath Yatra was curtailed and the pilgrims were asked to cut short their stay and leave the valley as soon as possible. On the same day, the group of political leaders, including the former Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti, met Jammu and Kashmir Governor Satyapal Malik and asked him to clear the sense of uncertainty. The governor, however, asked the people to remain calm and not to exaggerate rumours about the advisory. Now we come to August 3rd. Now, around 6,200 people were taken out of the valley through civilian and military aircrafts, and the 43-day-long yatra to the shrine of in the Kishtwar district was also suspended. It was on the same day that the Indian Army foiled an attack by Pakistan's Border Action Team. The UK, Australia, Canada and also issued travel advisories urging their citizens to not travel to Kashmir. The army reported that 5 to 7 Pakistan Border Action Team army regulators were gunned down. Now, the developments of yesterday, the 4th of August, the state carrier Air India reduced the fares from Srinagar to Delhi. Almost 100 cricketers in the valley were also asked to leave the state. Meanwhile, the Home Minister Amit Shah held a crucial security meeting with the National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and the Home Secretary Rajiv Gauba. That happened yesterday. It was a crucial meeting taking place here in New Delhi. Israel, one of India's closest diplomatic partners, also has barred its citizens from travelling to Kashmir. And then late into the night, two former chief ministers, Mehbooba Mufti and Omar Abdullah, were placed under house arrest among other political leaders, and internet services were snapped in the valley. And while reacting to the latest decision on scrapping of the special status and proposed bifurcation of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, major political leaders have taken to social media to express what they think about the government's decision. Now, let's start with the former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Mehbooba Mufti, who is currently under house arrest and has slammed the move. She called the decision has brought the darkest day to Indian democracy. That's what she said. And I quote, "Today marks the darkest day in Indian democracy. The decision of the Jammu and Kashmir leadership to reject two-nation theory in 1947 and align with India has backfired. Unilateral decision of the Government of India to scrap Article 370 is illegal and unconstitutional, which will make India an occupational force in Jammu and Kashmir. The former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, the other one, and National Conference leader Omar Abdullah has also reacted to the decision. Omar Abdullah has deemed the government's move of removing Article 370 as a betrayal of the trust of the people of the valley, a move which will have far-reaching and dangerous consequences. BJP's National General Secretary Ram Madhav called it a glorious day. He tweeted, and I quote, "What a glorious day, finally the martyrdom of thousands, starting with Shyama Prasad Mukherjee for the complete integration of Jammu and Kashmir into the Indian Union is being honoured, and the 7-decade-old demand of the entire nation being realised in front of our eyes. In our lifetime, never imagined this before." And well, several other reactions. Former Union Minister and senior BJP leader Arun Jaitley has hailed the decision. He said it is a monumental decision towards national integration. And not just that, the former External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj also said, a bold and historic decision. We salute our great India, one India. The Aam Aadmi Party, that has been at odds with the BJP government forever, has also extended its support to the centre's resolution on removing Article 370, with its chief Arvind Kejriwal stating that the party hopes this will bring peace and development in the state. And well, a BJP MP from Ladakh, Namgyal, has also responded gleefully, it seems, to the decision.
क्योंकि लद्दाख चाहते थे कि एक यूनियन टेरिटोरी बने, फ्री लद्दाख फ्रॉम कश्मीर हो, कश्मीर के जो डोमिनेंसी से, कश्मीर के जो डिस्क्रिमिनेसी से लद्दाख को मुक्त मिले, वो आज होने जा रहा है। हम इस बिल का वेलकम करते हैं।
All right, so clearly several reactions there coming in from the politicians across the board. And joining us now to talk a little bit more about the government's decision is Ramakant Gaur, who is a constitutional expert. Thank you very much, Mr. Gaur, for talking to us this afternoon. Your thoughts on the government's bold decision to scrap Article 370 and 35A. How do you see this panning out?
It's a bold decision, and it was long awaited. If you look at the structure of 370, it was temporarily created in the Constitution of India. 35A was also a temporary order, which was issued in 1954 for the period of 5 years. So initially the intention of the constitutional expert was, or the president was, that it should be It is being issued for the purpose of abrogation of fundamental rights in the cases of preventive detentions. So this was issued only for the period of 5 years. It was extended from time to time. Such temporary orders which were created were effectually violating the fundamental rights which are enshrined in Article 14, 19 and 21, which are equality before law, which is right to free speech, trade, commerce, and business, etc. So now every citizen of India has the same rights. We can expect now the Kashmir, which is known as paradise or the heaven on the earth, would really be heaven in real means, because there was no development.
Right.
There has been so much of restriction because of the local polity. Mm-hmm. I expect that would be eradicated, and the development will take place in light of the present notification and the bill.
Right, but Mr. Gaur, if we talk about the legal aspects of this, as other opposition parties are saying that this decision by the government is unconstitutional, in terms of just speaking legally and constitutionally, how has this decision will this decision be legally challenged? Can it be challenged? What are some of the options that the opposition has at this moment if they wish to exercise them?
Any act of the government can be challenged before the courts. and it is always open for the opposition go to the court. But we need to look at 35A was created by virtue of the power vested in the president. If the president who is officiating now scrapped that order, how is it unconstitutional? And if you look at the language of Article 370, its heading starts with temporary. Now, if something which is temporary in nature, then it is being demolished. A permanent structure is being put in place. How is it unconstitutional? How is it, though Ghulam Nabi Azad has tried to say that it is Loktantra ki Hatya, I don't know whether it was Loktantra ki Hatya today or in 1954. Because ultimately, Supreme Court upheld the sanctity of 35A then in 1968. And a constitutional bench of Supreme Court did that because the court said it is required and President had the power. So it is a bias. Let it remain. If the President of India now eradicates that, scrap that by virtue of another order, how would that be unconstitutional? I mean, opposition has to come to the court. It is what there is polity which is being played. But as a matter of constitution, it is perfectly valid and legal.
Right. In terms of constitution, perfectly valid. But in terms of what happens in Parliament, as the opposition, of course, is alleging that they were only given 1 hour to consider the provisions of what the government had decided to do, and this bifurcation of Jammu and Kashmir into one union territory, and then another Ladakh becomes another union territory. How is this panning out legally? Is that sound?
See, legally it is sound, politically it is not. In the democratic setup, if you give 1 hour for the debate of such crucial issue, I don't think this is appropriate on the part of government. I mean, plainly speaking, on the democratic front, it is to be considered after giving a long thought. Some debates have to take place. I mean, you cannot put a bill and give 1 hour and you vote because you are in power and you are in majority and you do whatever you want. There has to be some debate. Ultimately, the Parliament of India is talking about the constitutional change. And it is quite old constitutional provision. If you are scrapping something from the constitution and which is going to affect the life of a state, then they should have given some more time. But as a matter of fact, that time is again a prerogative of the Lok Sabha Speaker or Rajya Sabha Chairman. So that's their prerogative. They may not conclude their business in 1 hour or 1 day.
Right.
So.
And in terms of bifurcating Jammu and Kashmir from a state to 2 union territories, do you think it is a much better way to administer a state that has been, seen so much violence and trouble in the last 70 years?
See, if we look at Chandigarh, if we look at the administration in Delhi, if we look at administration in Arunachal Pradesh or any other UT, then we'll find that this is something which is a welcome step. You can easily administer those territories and you will have focus on, directly focus of the center. And since these areas have borders, they are on the borders, then central government has certainly a power, the central power, which is always there. I think they'll be developed. As far as the constitutional provisions are concerned, again, that would not be a challenge or hindrance in the way of the government.
Right. So in terms of what the government's argument has been about revoking the special status and revoking Article 370 and 35A has been that there was consent from the governor of the state. Do you think that that holds, or the other political parties should have been kept in the loop? They say that they had no knowledge that this was happening, that they were under house arrest. But in terms of what the government has done, it has gone by the rule book, and its case is watertight in terms of what it has decided to do this morning.
See, as far as the legality is concerned, I explained that is constitutionally valid. As far as the political part is concerned, Mahbooba Mufti or Umar Abdullah or his father have been raising the threat levels. They were challenging the government: if you do, you'll face the music, you'll face the consequences. If this is the language of the people who are talking about the people, then I think they need to understand that they are also, they can be dealt in that language. So probably that's the tenor of the government of India. As a matter of fact, if you look at the manifesto of PDP in 2014, they promised a lot. And they promised a lot in terms of making Srinagar as mega city. They promised about creating certain other new cities, Greater Jammu, and they promised that all towns with population size class of 50,000 to 99 or to 1 lakh will be upgraded in infrastructure. There will be financial facilities. There will be raise in infrastructure. There will be some banking sectors which would be introduced. NBFC would be introduced. Nothing happened actually. After so many years of independence, Kashmir is where it was. Apart from the roads which are required for the army, what is the development there? Where is the electricity? Where is the industry? Where is the equal rights to the women? If we talk about the women's rights, they are not given rights in terms of share in the property.
In inheritance.
So much so, triple talaq bill was passed in the recent times. It has an exclusion clause as far as Jammu Kashmir women are concerned. Prevention of Corruption Act, it is not applicable in that state. Code of Criminal Procedure, it is not applicable in that state by virtue of these two acts. I mean, that has to go. If any woman of Kashmir is a resident of India, she should entertain the same rights when any woman of state of Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Delhi, or anywhere else enjoys. There has to be clarity before law. So that the 370 and 35A were unconstitutional in those times also.
Right, absolutely. Ramakant Kaur, thanks very much indeed for joining us and sharing your thoughts. Ramakant Kaur, constitutional expert, talking to us this afternoon on the government's bold decision to scrap Article 370 and Article 35A of the Constitution. Now, well, let's also get some other reactions coming in from political parties about this and what Amit Shah said in Parliament.
जब आज सुबह ये अमेंडमेंट हमने सुनी है तो मैं अंदर से गदगद हो गया और इस देश के प्रधानमंत्री को, गृह मंत्री को और इस सरकार को एक इंडिपेंडेंट मेंबर होने के नाते बहुत बधाई देता हूं कि आपने ये अमेंडमेंट लाए। भारतीय जनता पार्टी से अधिक मेरे मित्र कांग्रेस पार्टी में हैं। उन सबसे पूछा, सभी पार्टियों से पूछा कि भाई ये धारा 370 क्यों आप हटा नहीं रहे हैं। सबने ये कहा कि हटानी चाहिए, लेकिन ये एक बड़ा पॉलिटिकल इशू है, इसके अंदर पॉलिटिकली किसी को सूट नहीं करता, हमको सूट नहीं करता, इसलिए हम नहीं हटा रहे। तो ये एक बात जब थी और उस बात को मुझे आज सुबह याद आया, तभी मैं आपको साधुवाद दे रहा हूं कि आप ये बिल लेके आए और बहुत अच्छा किया।
All right, let's also listen in to what the Home Minister said in Parliament.
सभापति महोदय, विपक्ष के नेताजी ने कहा कि धारा 370 ने कश्मीर को भारत के साथ जोड़ा है। माननीय सभापति महोदय, ये सत्य नहीं है। महाराजा हरि सिंह द्वारा 27 अक्टूबर 1947 को अब जम्मू और कश्मीर साइन किया गया। मैं फिर से इसी कहना चाहता हूँ 27 अक्टूबर 1947 को और धारा 370 1949 में आई जम्मू कश्मीर छूटने के बाद 2 साल तक। ये सब तो नहीं है कि जम्मू कश्मीर में भारत के साथ जम्मू कश्मीर को भारत के साथ धारा 370 ने जोड़ा है। हकीकत यह है कि जम्मू कश्मीर को धारा 370 ने कभी भारत के साथ एक रस नहीं होने दिया। और मैं सदन को विश्वास दिलाना चाहता हूं, अगर गुलाम नबी आजाद साहब कहते हैं कि ये गैर संवैधानिक तरीका है तो वाद विवाद करे, शोर शराबा न करे, संविधान की जिस धारा को वो कहना चाहता है इसके अंतर्गत चर्चा करने के लिए मैं तैयार हूं।
All right, that is the decision of the government this morning that has shocked all the opposition parties into silence for many of them. And we're slipping into a short break. Our continued coverage here on the big story will stay after this break. Stay with us.